Fellow Nigerians, I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and to some of you, good night, depending on your time zone. I am George Onyibe. Of course, this morning, I want us to quickly review a message I simply titled, Nigeria must learn from history and stop playing the game of the torches in every story. I know most of you are wondering what I'm about to review. But let us see how I can be able to comprehensively present this message to you. History exists for a purpose. It is, first of all, basically meant to inform us about the past. Tell us what happened in the past. And as a result of knowing what happened in the past, it gives you information about your present position. And then eventually, it enables you to have a critical thinking about how your tomorrow will be. And as a result, its foundation is laid on education, research, creating room for critical thinking, and of course, preserving your culture, your heritage, which is actually the benefit of any sacrifice that has been made by our ancestors, as far as you can date back to the origin of humanity. But it's quite unfortunate, Africans, Nigerians, we don't learn from history. We have failed to learn from history. And so before our very eye, we make the same mistake over and over and over again. And yet, we believe forming alliance with one world power, forming alliance with the cabal, forming alliance with those we believe have the technical know-how will help us to evolve, advance. No. Because if you know history, you will understand that there is no condition that is permanent. You will understand that kingdom rise and kingdom fall. The moment they remove their eye from history, they repeat the same mistake. Today, there are mistakes Russians will not make because they know their past. There are mistakes Americans will not gladly take a slide for because they know their past. You see the Chinese, you see the Japanese, you see the Indians, you see the Arabians. There are mistakes they will never make again because they learn from the past. But this is the flip in this discussion. For the Africans, their history is demonized, manipulated, distorted, written by their enemy. And somewhere along the line, you believe with all the deposit of natural resources, human capacity, in the absence of your history, true knowledge of self, you think you are going anywhere and then think again. And so I will say in overall terms, that knowing your history is the beginning of every art of recovery. Now let me break it down for you to be able to understand before we dive into the real mindset behind this broadcast. I brought in touches there, and I want to explain that part first. For example, as Nigeria, there is a particular tribe. In every story, there is a touches. And I'm sure those of you who are the same era with me, those era of Tales by Moonlight, those era of story, those era where our grandfather, our grandparents, mothers and father, our uncles and elders, we the siblings and extended family will gather under the moonlight. And they tell you story as children. You will notice that about 99.9% of the stories they tell us, you must see touches there. Every story they tell us, you must see touches there. And amazingly, when you ask those children, whose role do you want to play? Who do you see as your role model in this story? Every one of us will love touches. And this is because our mind has not been properly developed. But we cannot forget that the purpose of Tales by Moonlight is to enable children to develop the ability to think critically. It was not the real moral lesson behind the message. Because at the end of the day, touches always emerge as the winner. But touches is always the one that is not morally right. But he emerges as a winner. And then one will begin to wonder, if touches through dubious means get everything he wants, why would anybody want to envy to be the touches in every dream? No. They don't want you to be the touches. They want you to think critically like the touches. And it translates down to when Jesus told the disciple, he said, be as wise as the serpent and as harmless as the Holy Spirit. In other words, be as wise as devil, but like the Spirit of God, be harmless. And this is the basic truth there. Our ancestors tried to help us to be able to critically think like the torches, but never to be the torches. And I'm sure not all of you know this. Most of you elders who passed through this process, I'm sure you didn't know this until now. Now let me explain to you briefly. In every story, they tell you the achievement of torches. Very brilliant. But then let's look at torches in its real term. It's a very sluggish animal. Though it can live long, it can't move fast. I can't even remember the health benefit. It's not sweet at meat. It's not beautiful. It's very fragile. In fact, the day anything makes the torches to tumble, without anybody or thing around to help it back on its feet, it's gone. But yet, it looks smarter. It looks better. It looks as if he's all and all in every story. No. He understands his weakness. He took advantage of critical thinking, and he was able to run faster than the fastest. He was able to become smarter than the smartest. He became the best of the best of the best in every situation and circumstance it found itself. But that does not mean that he wins in the end. Let me explain further. You see the back of a torches, it's broken. They told us one history, how the back of the torches got broken. Torches before then deceived so many people. That will not permit me to tell you the story. And so they were jumping down from heaven. And I knew as they jumped down from heaven, all of them are hitting the rock and they are dying. It was Torches' initiative that it will make them greater. But these people did not know that Torches has gone back to tell his wife to put foam on the particular position he's going to jump down from. But little did they know that someone else was listening to him. And the person went to look for cutleries, machete, irons, every strong metal available, and put it at that position where the Torches will jump down from. And Torches, having deceived all, was thinking he was going to have a very wonderful slide. And he jumped. He has gotten close to the earth when he discovered that reverse was the case. He took the fall. They say that is how the back of the Torches, the shell of the Torches, got cracked. We can go on and on and on and on and talk about so many stories about Torches. But like I said, if you listen to Test by Moonlight for entertainment's sake, it is entertainment you will get. If you listen to Test by Moonlight for the fun of it, it is the fun that you will get. If you listen to Test by Moonlight just to keep yourself preoccupied, that is what you get. But if you listen to them based on critical thinking, you will be able to reason properly. And now it is applicable to history. When you talk about history events, it doesn't make sense to some of you. And believe me, it will never make sense to you. When you talk about past event, some of you consider it fetish, and that is what it is to you. When you look at past event, some of you look at it as something you should not remember. My dear, that is what it is to you. But you see people like us, every mistake of our ancestors, every errors in our history, all the glory, all the honor that there is to be regarding our past. Whether we are a chimpanzee, whether we were monkey, whether we were baboon, whatever we were naked and jumping up and down from one mango tree to another, we are the Bigfoot or any name they call us. Believe me, behind that horrible story about our past, there is a truth they don't want you to know. And the moment you know that truth, you are free. That is one of the reasons why we keep doing what we are doing. And now we have access to this truth. It's going to be impossible for them to tell us otherwise, because we know where we are coming from. And you should be rest assured we know where we are going to. In Nigeria today, the Igbo Biafra people have decided to become the Torches in every story we tell. They play Torches. But it's unfortunate their back will break like the back of the Torches. Because you see that trap they are setting for people. They will take the hard fall themselves. But this is not hatred. This is the truth. Because I want to remind them specifically, the Igbo people that say they are Biafra. Advise them to stop playing the role of the Torches in every game. Because we already know the history of the past. I entered into a platform of Igbo people yesterday. And they were trying to talk about the position of the Igbo and their experience in Nigeria. I listened to them patiently. I need to know when I'm wrong and when I'm right. And I listened patiently. The guy narrated so many rubbish. You know, their normal mentality. After talking his rubbish, another speaker came up. They were speaking Igbo. And that one said the problem is that the Nigerians jealous Igbos. They are jealous of Igbo people. Igbo people are the beauty of Nigeria. Igbo people are this. Igbo people are that. Allow Igbo person to rule. And once he rule, Nigerian problem will end. Igbo do this. Igbo do that. If you see all of them, I can see their satisfaction. Their touches. They will know it all. They are the richest tribe in the world. They are the one that is marginalized. The most intelligent woman. They went up to the extent to say that Oyibo people, once you say you are Igbo, Oyibo will fall in love with you. And I see how satisfied they are. But this is the truth. The Igbos has had the privilege where they occupy every vital position in Nigeria. Every vital position in Nigeria was the Igbo. And that was when Nigeria was plunged into crisis that she has not recovered from this moment. They are just touches, these Biafra people. They went on to talk many rubbish. I enjoyed it. But you see, I can't fall for it. But now, these people don't know the history. Or because it didn't favor them, they are hiding it. If I come from a descendant of slaves, and I'm sure I'm no longer a slave to today, what is the glory? What is the honor when we talk about Jaja of Opobo? Was it because he was a son of influential man? What we envy, what we intend to emulate from the history of such a man was that he was sold a slave. And out of the chains and the shackles of slavery, the weight of humiliation having been turned to beast of burden, he emerged to become their leader. These are history that started in ashes and ended in glory. And so your past does not necessarily have to make you look glorious. But whatever you hate in the past, based on this information, you make amendment. And so today, Nigeria is going through trying moment, challenging moment. Because somewhere along the line, all of us have access to histories that cannot match each other. Some are hiding their atrocities against the other group. Some are discovering that they have been shortchanged. And there are a lot of truth that is yet to be told. But unfortunately, all of them will come to the light. And now, when you finally know this truth, have you been able to develop the critical ability, the thinking ability that will make you survive the next phase of our life as a people, enabling the next generation to do the right thing at the right time? Are we working towards that? And I'm sure no. If indeed we are working towards that, it would have been time Nigerians begin to learn from the past. Let me remind us that when the Igbo coup, which actually sank the foundation of Nigeria, though it was corrupted from the eve of independence, was not attended to, he only made Hausa people to come and revenge. And listen to those boys in that platform. They were saying that if they had known, they would have formed alliance with Hausa. They would have maintained the bond they have with Hausa. Today, with Hausa, they would have destroyed all the ethnic groups in Nigeria. They blame the people of South South for betraying them. And for the first time, they agree that it was Alex Ekweme that created South South, just to give us, the minority, the strangers of Nigeria, the misery of Nigeria. You know, they call us name. That it was Igbo people who gave us voice. They went on to say that the 13% derivation will benefit from Nigeria. That without Igbo people, they will not give it to us. They say Yoruba and Hausa said they will not give it to us. And it is the Igbo that, yes, that the Igbo people made it possible for us. And one begin to wonder, if Igbo people created South to make us have a voice in Nigeria, why did Igbo people invade Midwestern region? Why did these Igbo people destroy Midwestern region and allow South to exist? And why do Igbo Biafra people constantly insult us that there is nothing like geopolitical zone? That we don't have sense, we are South. But they were massaging their ego. They thought it's the era of Bubu Yeke, deceive everybody and have their way. No, we have come of age. We know the truth. I'm coming. And so if they have learned, all Nigerians have learned, and people moved into action to appease the Hausa people because they were betrayed by Igbo Biafrans. Let me retrace the history. When Nigeria was formed, and in less than 3 years, a lot of things happened. Betrayal that is still bending all of us to the position we are today. All of them occur in less than 3 years. First of all, Hausa was on their own. And then Igbo and Yoruba was on their own. The moment Nnamdi Azikiwe came in, Obafemi Awolowo dictates everything because of hypocrisy. And of course, Obafemi Awolowo could not do much because his people did not even believe much on him, because Igbo Biafra have used their mouth to rap everybody. They had the support of the Benin people. Urumusele and Nahuru was with them. They practically blew him up, being the editor general of the pilot newspaper belonging to Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. They battled forth and back against the Yoruba. But the only option was to create another region, which you already know, giving birth to the West and the East. And now the Igbo left and formed alliance with the North. And together with the North, if you know the horrible thing they did to Yoruba, Yoruba would have seen hell if they don't know their history. And so when all this Igbo coup happened, only Yoruba that can be relevant in Nigeria is the only Yoruba that is a loyal servant to Igbo people. Because the two Kaba, which was Igbo and Hausa, have problem now. And Hausa was left, Yoruba was left on their own. Only relevant Yoruba you know. Then, when you hear Yoruba man fight Biafra or Yoruba man do like this, are the loyal subject of Igbo people. And so when the Igbo betrayed the Hausa by what you know as Igbo coup, because 99.9% of people who died in that coup were Igbo. The remaining 1% were Yoruba. No Igbo man died. Let's take it that way, because that is the truth. The only Igbo man we know that died was not aware of that very coup. He was in charge of armory in Lagos. And so Yoruba was like, shebi them be friend. Let them fight. It's their business. Yoruba was relaxing in their region and observing. Agwu Yorunsi Igbo Biafra man conjured the whole country to this our loving one Nigeria that we are enjoying today. There are rumors that most Yoruba at that time advised him, go for consultation, go to these Hausa people, go and appease them, go and talk to them. No, he did not go and talk to them. He is doing nonsense that he want to do. They don't remember history. And before he could finish his presidential tour, the Hausa have concluded what to do. And that is when you hear Igbo massacre. It's just a revenge. Today, we are still passing the same process. History is trying to repeat itself. Because all these things started with arrogancy. People saying swelling words. People talking rubbish. And we've been begging them. Igbo be Igbo. Allow other people to be. Stop begging for unity. Some people say, you must. No, stop begging for unity. Please, stay in your territory. Allow us to be. Please. But you will not hear. You see, this is how they will start it. This is how they always start it. And now, everywhere, they banter about Benin. They banter everybody. They blackmail everybody. They summon on the same wings of propaganda and disinformation. They are jumping everywhere. They've forgotten the history. And one truth you must understand is that the moment you underrate your opponent, you are destined for doom and destruction. Let me digress so you understand. When I was in secondary school, there was a boy in the dormitory. Somehow he come from a very rich family, but he was okay on his own, pretty good. We don't want to bow for anybody. He has this kind of self-worth attitude and irritates me, honestly. Should I say I was envious of him? But I was his senior. I was the dormitory prefect. I was older than him. I was also the school prefect, and he was not much for me anyway. But then, for some reason, I just want to oppress him because he will not yield for me. But you see this boy, he doesn't fight back. No matter what I do to him, he will just look at me. He will start singing. No one knows tomorrow. Anything you want to do it now, for no one knows tomorrow. I tell you, that is the only thing the boy does. And maybe I give him punishment. He will serve and go back to his quarter in the dormitory. But you see, that song broke me down more than I can imagine. I knew to me it was my right. I had the power. But my spirit told me, you are maltreating this guy for a reason that is not justifiable. And one day, I went to the boy and said, my brother, forgive me. If I've offended you, forgive me. Forgive me. I played with him, and we became friends. I'm happy he forgave me. But I took the fall. Because I shouldn't be bullying on that guy. I shouldn't be harassing that guy. I'm better than guy in every way. Why should I still be jealous about him? Why do I want to ridicule him and mess him up? And then lo and behold, we became best friends thereafter. We left school. Many years later, I ran into somebody in Lagos. I was driving and he was driving the opposite direction. And he cited I was the one. I ran somewhere in Lasamaja. Yani Solo Aziz. He just blocked me there. He was with some young men. The young man came down from the car. And then one small boy came from the back. I said, drag that man down. Those huge men bounced on me, dragged me down. I have to put up resistance. What is the problem? What is the problem? They dragged me down. The young boy come and touch my mind. If I sand you now. And now look at his face. It was that my younger junior student, Jeremiah. He hugged me. He was very happy to see me after over 7 years. He was a millionaire. And then here I am trying to succeed in life. Imagine if I have taken advantage of my position and my ego and my bragadash and I say, get out, you are nobody. Nothing happened tomorrow. My brother, that day, you for no say you don't take away nyashide for back. You don't take away nyashide for back. And now there you go remain. You just get sense. Let me explain something before I go into the real purpose of this broadcast. Notice all my broadcasts from day one to this very moment. You see issue of religion, I don't get involved. When I have a problem with a man of God, I call him out, I focus on that thing, and I leave him. If he has a problem, let him come out. Even his disciples will be the one cautioning them. Recently, I constantly call people like Ebukobi. Do you know why? Because Ebukobi is a man of God. And certainly what he's doing is against the principle and the doctrine of Christianity. And I say I am not Igbo. Ebukobi, who's supposed to focus on uniting race, because he said those who are Christian, we will not be known by tribes, by tongues. We will not be known by all those things are gone. Ebukobi wants us to become Igbo. And when we say we are not Igbo, he will stay in the altar of God and he will tell you that I am Wabondowa Liriri. For those of you who don't understand Igbo, we are the brainless people. They have eaten our brain. Who eat our brain? Nigeria. Because we say we are not Igbo. I called him out. I have his video recorded for him. I call out somebody like Mbaka in most cases. Because during the good luck Ebere Jonathan, he used his mouth to finish Ebere Jonathan and praised Buhari. He looked like he's dumb now. He can't speak again. These people are not doing the service of God. And God himself has turned his back on all of them. Because that is not the assignment given to them. If there were any assignment given to them. And now outside confronting them one-on-one, as he affects me and my people. When I mean my people, in extension, the entire Nigeria, the whole of humanity, I don't have issue with them. But you see, some of us get to a level where we come out and challenge God. My brother, his name may not be God. Let yourself know the truth. His name may not be Allah. His name may not be Chuku. His name may not be all these things we call him. His name may be hidden from us. But somewhere along the line, we arrogate a name we believe is greater than every other name. A name we believe it should be kept secret for him as a people. And then we say he's the Almighty. You see, whether you like it or not, scientifically or otherwise, there is a creator, there is a being higher than all of us, and he's watching all of us. Don't get involved. I have seen people who were doing well, and one day they will come out and talk rubbish. And once I see people like that, my brother, it's a red flag. You will have problem. You will have problem. And let me say two things. Why you see some issues, most of you think I will get involved, but I am very careful. And that is the issue of Ijele. Ijele got to a point. It looked like as if he was fighting with Christians. Let me tell you, the government of the whole world put together cannot stop Christianity. Let all the government in the world come together, join with other religion. They can't stop the Christians. Did you know the blood of how many people that were persecuted for the foundation of the church to be laid? Now let me also tell you that all the government put in the world, combined with all the religion, cannot stop Islam. Neither can they stop traditionalists or any religion. These are issues greater than all of us. That is why you see many advanced countries today, even though they don't agree with any particular religion, yet they don't fight against them. You may say Chinese or Japanese are not Christians, they don't like Christians, but they have produced one of the strongest Christians the world have ever known. Have you heard about Young Inchu? And then, by the time you begin to go there, religion matter, challenging issues, talking about things greater than you, I know your end is near if you don't retrace your step. I remember in the time of Ijele, and I said something about TB Joshua saga. That is my mentor. I love that man. I believe that man. I have discussed that man with God. I've worshipped in synagogue in Kotwibi several times because when I was in Lagos, I was actually living in Agbo Palace Way, which is very close to synagogue. I have seen his passion. I have seen his charity. I have seen the kind of person he is. I know him when he can't even shave his beard like me. I know him when they try to polish him up and bring him to the capacity before he left. I know his family, his wife who is from Agbo. I know the daughter. I know everything I need to know. I have seen humility of the highest order. And believe me, no matter what you say, my brain cannot still process the simple fact that most people think is a fraud. But it's okay. I am not the judge of any man. And certainly I am not God. And I said, this is mine. Because I one time prayed to God and say, God, if this man are agent of devil, no say we say we be Christian. We know serious. Because the level of righteousness I see this man exhibit, even my bishop no get 10%. As at that time. But he's not my pastor. I go there to learn. Ijele moved on. He attacked me. I've forgiven him. He openly attacked me and I responded. But he was losing it. I have a reason why I'm saying it. And then you see our brother, very dark man. We got to his stage. He was having issue with Mercy Chinwo. Let it remain with Mercy Chinwo. And the circle this problem is coming from. He says something. Body of Christ, my foot. My brother, I knew that was a red flag. But who am I? The one who no concern me, I know they put him out. But I'm saying all these things to warn Igbo Biafra. You see all these things they are doing. They will play the red card. But their children will suffer for it. Because history is repeating itself. Everybody is knowing what they have to know. Look at Africa is resisting already. Because they've known the imperialists, the colonial masters, the god of Africa, the Europeans, those who colonize us. They don't mean us well. They will never in their clear eye allow us to progress. Until we take our freedom, they will never give it to us. The issue of Burkina Faso is giving them nightmare. Mali and the rest of them. Why? Because we see what they did to Libya. We see what they did in Somalia. We see how they try to destroy African countries that ever tried to emerge out of poverty. They want us to remain poor. Forget about Nigeria trying to romance with the whole system. When Nigeria own will start, and I'm sure that will be the end. But we will get there. Everybody's learning. What have we benefited? Our benefit is that African country upon which they steal resources, we are the one borrowing money from them. They take our good for free, crude oil and gas for free, diamond for free, all natural resources. They stole it from Africa for free, but they borrow us money. World Bank International. They don't like this, but they are not my concern yet. They will play the red card. And the moment they play the red card, only divine providence will set them free. And so why I'm calling on Nigerians to learn from history and stop playing touches in every story is because of my Igbo people. Most especially this one that say that they are Biafra. There is no story they will talk about Nigeria. Igbo man must be there. There is no problem. Igbo man must be there. The same way there is no story you will tell. Touches must be there. My brother, you will play the wrong card. You will play the red card. You're going to have problem. And now, it could be the hand of the Almighty that fight against certain individuals. You do not know. Let me explain something for you. You see, a real native doctor, if you match poison, you come to a real traditionalist, a real native doctor. Before they will make effort to treat you, they will profile you. They will find out whether you are sleeping with people's wife. They will find out whether you have poisoned somebody. They will find out whether you are a killer. They will find out whether you have soiled your hand in any way. And then they will check who is after you before they will administer you healing. Let me explain further so you understand. When I was poisoned by IPOB Igbo Biafra people, when they were trying to get rid of me, I didn't know it was poison. Very dangerous one. Igbo people call it Ababet. Ibibio people call it is Ababet, or Ababet is what Igbo call it, but similar name is what Ibibio call it. And you don't take Western drug to treat it. But I didn't know. I went to the pharmacy. I explained. Normally, they will tell you they have the solution. They started giving me different injection. And I was taking this injection without improvement. It looked as if they put 6-inch nail in my heart. I was still with these Igbo Biafra people who they are poisoning me gradually. Tomorrow they tell you Ebinokpabi kill me. And I come and I explain to the pharmacy. I say, I am not getting improvement. The pain on my heart is killing me. And that charm, Abba bed, was supposed to go around me, and that is the end. But when he got to my armpit, instead of it to join, he started climbing up and did not join. That was God. And the man looked at it and no, truly, this guy is not responding to treatment. And the pharmacist told me that after the last injection, he will advise me to go to the traditionalist. And that is because he knew that is not something the doctors can handle. And with this information, I went to my friend and I explained to him, I said, look at what is wrong with me. I just don't know what it is. The guy looked at me and moved back. I said, Oga, you don't take injection? I said, so many. He said, this thing is not, Oga, this thing will kill you. Go and look for traditionalist. I still call one Igbo man. Good Igbo man. His name is Ikechukwu Gwoha. Igbo Biafra people have assassinated him in his house in the presence of his children. Maybe because he says he's not doing Biafra again. They have killed him already. Maybe because he knew too much. And I called him. I said, look at what is going on. He said, come over to Aba. And I went to Aba. We went to meet a native doctor. And the moment I pulled my shirt, the native doctor looked at me and exclaimed with a very loud voice. He ran back from me and he was saying something in Igbo. Ewe onye akwafube obara o, ewe onye akwafube obara o. That means this guy has not soiled his hand in anybody's blood. And neighbors started gathering. And they were looking at me. They never believed somebody will carry that poison to that extent and still be alive. And the man said, Kai, your hands are clean. Do you know why? Because if your hand is not clean and your cause is from the Almighty, and somebody try to interject without finding out the source of your problem, the person will die for nothing. The person will carry that problem. Have you not read the history of Balaam and Barak? It becomes the wage of ungodliness. Why am I bringing it out? Igbo Biafra people, stop playing the torches. You are the most intelligent tribe. We respect you. You are very intelligent. We are daft. You are the richest tribe. We respect you. But please, be a little bit humble. Leave us to be poverty-stinking people. You don't see my uncompleted building. Am I complaining? You mock me for it. But if it were you, it's a pattern. It's a bush bar. You know, think I like a bush bar too much. If I go to my garden, he said, no, it's in the bush now. And sometimes you will fight against my creator. I can't even be able to save you. And so, because we have known the history of the past, we're very skeptical in having anything to do with you. Don't you think you need to review the past and make amends on your way? And for fellow Nigerians, we all know the history of Nigeria. And we have been playing the same game over 1,000 ethnic groups for over 60 years now. Don't you think we should visit the history and then make amends? Peradventure, we have not offended the Creator, and then He can give all of us a fresh beginning. And then for those of us who have been weighted under the weight of humiliation, don't you think we need to look at the back, the history, and then see how we can prevent it? Because nobody is coming from the sky to save us. We are the one that we save ourselves. Not until a particular day the Jewish people rose up and said, never again. It would have continued. Not until the day the Indians woke up and said, never again. Colonialism will still be in India. They have to Bukhanize India, butcherize India. They still stand. They have to Sakanize China and Japan, destroy North Korea and South Korea, but they're still standing. Because they know their history. They know the damage that has been done already. They know some areas are not repairable. And if they continue to coexist, there will be problem. And somehow, they let it slide. Today, they are tourist destination. But somebody need to put up resistance. And resistance that must be guided by experience. Because experience, as they say, is the best teacher. And I'm talking out of experience. That with what I know, there are certain things I see happening in my place. Having considered the first history and how it affects my people, I will never keep quiet over it. And so my people of the South, my Agbo people, my people of the defunct Midwestern region, it's up to you. Will you learn from the past history? Fellow minorities of one Nigeria, are you willing to learn from the past history? Or are you going to live on the shadow of every other person for a very long time? And the almighty owners of one Nigeria, are you feeling our pain? Have you tried to put yourself in our position? Have you tried to consider that our past history has not favored us? And that somewhere along the line, as Africans yearn for true freedom, for true emancipation, liberation, working towards a unification agenda for total liberation of the whole Africa. Don't you see we are under the same pain? Have we not suffered enough? Those of you feeding on our misery, have you not done enough damage? And now the only thing that is left, you are stealing it. When I wear my cloth, yeah, it's Igbo cloth. When I answer my name, because it's similar to your language, oh, it's Igbo name. Some of you will shamelessly tell me, drop your Igbo name first. Thunder will fire all of you. Igbo men efande kaheni elefande Igbo. Canon wundi Igbo no wa zakwo efande Igbo. And Igbo have not told you for once, drop my Igbo name. You see where your wisdom is corrupted? You see where your wisdom is corrupted? You take advantage of the similarity between us, and you want to overrun us. Now, in case you don't understand why I am bringing it out and tell them to go back to history and check it, it is because in the coming days, we will be exposing many things, and some of you will not like it. And those of you who will align the power of Wazobia to think you will come and destroy me, you will destroy yourself, because yeah, my hands are clean. Why am I saying this? Some of you people now, most especially Midwestern region women, South women, you know what they are doing to you. You know what they are doing to you. And I don't mean to disrespect anybody. Do you know that about 40% or 35 or 20% of Benin women working with Igbo Biafra people in diaspora cannot speak against Igbo? Because they have set them up. We are not saying it too, but we know. I'm beginning to receive record of some people who say, what you said is true. I made love with this Igbo Biafra man. I didn't know they were videoing me. And now they will use it to set me up. This is almost the same thing they did to Ife. This is almost the same thing they did to Ife. So when you see South person playing loyalty for Igbo Biafra people, they have something on them. They have something on them. And now let me tell you, if you are a woman from Agbo, from Ikwiri, from Benin, from Urobo, from Ishekiri, you have slept with Igbo Biafra, and they take your picture and say if you don't do their bidding, that they will pursue you. Please tell them to pursue you. Let them play the video for the whole world to see. I promise you, in 3 months, somebody will marry you. Let them bring out that picture. Don't think they will save you. Don't think they will not bring out that picture in the end. They will bring it out. Learn from history. Their sister called Nelly Ofuibu worked with Nnamdi Kanu and Simon Ekpa. They slept with her. Whether it's Nnamdi Kanu, whether it's Simon Ekpa, it's not clear who slept with Nelly Ofuibu. Not because of the love of the sex. Because Nelly Ofuibu is a married woman with 3 kids already, with the husband in the States. But they slept with her to get her nude picture. And the moment she had a fallout with them and tried to speak out, they posted her nude picture on social media. Nelly Ofuibu's husband actually left, but Nelly Ofuibu is not dead. She's still there. And somewhere along the line, if we can find her, maybe we will give her another husband. Learn from history. All of you, they have indicted. They have something on you because they indict you. We know that game. All of you will be liberated. And for those of you who are doing that rubbish, we know what happened in the past. You see, when I look at people, I know what I know. I know what I felt. I learned from the past. I heard what my fathers, they said, what my mothers, they said, and I know what I experienced. And I know what tomorrow holds for me if certain matters are not addressed. And so you see Urobo person, he will be shouting, hey, we are Biafra, Urobo is Biafra, Mata Biafra, Ndioshi Biafra. They have something on them. Let me repeat Ife matter again. If they don't have womb, how did I know? Igbo Biafra told me. They have many things against her because the day she denounced Biafra, they will chase her. If you see, if you tell her to denounce Biafra, we will make sure she becomes a citizen anywhere she is. And And when we keep quiet, before you know, all our people will turn to zombie. They don't have sense again. Not because they don't have sense, because some people have indicted them and they think we will not accept them. If you be Abo, you be Olosho, we love you, we will marry you. We are coming. If you be Bini, you be Olosho, we love you, we will marry you. Our own. All those set up, it cannot work again. Because that is what they are using to silence us. I know my time. I know how hard they work. But I know the past history. And those who are brave enough from my place to resist them, some of them took their life. But you see our own, we go nowhere. We will outlive them. Because we are their destiny. I am their destiny and I'm their doom. And so to bring this broadcast to an end, I'm simply asking you, fellow Nigerians, let us develop the habit of learning from the past. It lays foundational education. It gives you privileges to learn from experience. It helps you to preserve your culture and your tradition. Let's learn and stop playing touches. Touches is fool, guided by emotion. A thought is the smartest. In the end, he loses it all. Do you know why touches are bad here? He went to steal akara. If time has permitted, I will tell you where he steals the akara. So stop playing smart. You lose in the end. Look at Nigeria as we speak. Igbo Biafra people are the one trying to cause problem everywhere. They are the one uniting their father and their mother. They are the one instigating nation against Benin. They are the one turning Yoruba against Ijo. They are the one turning Ijo against Ishekiri. They are the one dragging Yoruba against Hausa. They are the one dragging Fulani against Hausa. They are the one destroying fellow Igbo against Igbo. They are the one causing, they are the cataract in the whole system. Because they are the touches in every matter. Can't something happen without Igbo Biafra person involved? It is time you people learn. Because when you play the red card, nobody will save you. I will leave that message for now. Peradventure, I was able to convey the true message to you. Or maybe you need the guidance of the Spirit to know what I'm saying. I'll go to the comment section before I bring it to an end, so that I'll take some insults, because I really need it from them. Let's see those who are there. I see Bright. He say, I greet you, Diokpa. I greet you, my brother. I see Ogumbo. Say, good morning. I greet you, Gumbo. I see Asenstre. I greet you, my brother. I greet you, Uyi. And then I see Good Luck there. I greet you, Good Luck. I see Uyi. He say, my sister came back home. Get yourself. Yes, I have told them. Let them release that video. We are waiting for it. And I swear, if Igbo Biafra people release any of your nude picture, because you refuse to be the slave for them, anywhere you are in the world, if we don't give you husband that will love and cherish you, in the next 3 months, I will leave social media platform. Let them bring the nude. Just let me see the video. And let's know the idiot doing that. Blackmailing us everywhere. This is how they blackmail our father, blackmail us. They say Benin people were poisoning Igbo people during the war. They say Abo people were denying their Igbo-ness during the war. They blackmail us and blackmail us. Can't you learn from the history that they will never change? Nonsense. I see Igwe Abuchi here. I greet you, Igwe Abuchi, my brother. Good morning from here. I see Zubis. He say Onyi Belibe. One day you go tire and life will continue. Zubi, yes. My time will come someday, but not yet. I will outlive you, Zubi. But you see, in terms of life continue, yes, but it will not be the way you have envisaged it will be. That is a complete Igbo Biafra man. Look at his capability or capacity of reasoning. Touches. But was I supposed to live forever? Zubi or Zubis, do you think you're going to live forever? We are on a transition. When we were in our mother's womb, after 9 months, our time was up to come out. None of us want to come out. Some of them, when you are pushing it, it will open 2 legs. Some days, instead of them to come out, they will open 2 hands. Nobody want to leave the womb. Very comfortable. Personal swimming pool. You have the toy of umbilical to play with. You don't need to hustle. You feed from your mother's cord. Everything was provided. You have your immune system inside that swimming pool. It's top notch. But yet you don't want to live there. The same way we think we are struggling on the earth. And one day we will close our eye in death and discover that death is just the beginning. We've not even gotten the real life. Only fools struggle to remain here forever. But then, while we enjoy it, let's strive to live long. Because I'm going to live long. So I don't expect to be here forever. But before our time is up, we will make sure your kind will not rewrite our history. And every damage you have done to our history, we will correct it. Our system, value system you have lowered, we will restore it. Everything that have been stolen from us, we will get it back. I know more of your kind will come later and drop their insult. But my simple advice is, tell your kind to stop playing touches. Tell them to stop playing touches in every story that concerns us as a people. Because it will not be in the favor of your kind in the end. I'm George Onyibe.